It's gone up on YouTube. I'll get the link. There we go. Right, links up on tier chat. I don't want to go into multiclass because that's a different thing. There we go. Right. I'm gonna say it off the bat. Next, you haven't changed delivery once, and I actually do quite like it. To be fair, I'll give it to you. Secondly, Cap, you finally changed delivery to pink, and it looks quite nice.
Thank you.
All credit is to Nate. He picked deliveries.
Fair enough.
Are we on now?
No idea.
We're on, we're alive. I'm just making sure I can hear you both.
Alright.
Right, I can both hear you on stream, so that's good. At the moment, it's just the three of us. But it's only been up for, what, a minute? What do you two think of the track? Enjoy it?
I'm not a fan of Interlagos, personally. It's just too tight, and it feels like every overtake there's a little too much contact, so I always feel like it's a dirty pass, even if it's the cleanest I can do. So I'm not a huge fan of the track, personally.
It might be the fact that the driver you're overtaking might have not given you as much space, or you might not have given them much space. That happens. Also, where it switchbacks at turn 1, 2 and 3, where the two lines cross, that's usually where contact's made, so you can't get the switchback, or you nudge somebody, or they've gone really slowly, for example, through turn 1, and you can't get the car to turn, or you can't turn the car because there's something in the middle.
That's fair. That might be my problem. I gotta practice the lines more.
It might be. It happens, unfortunately. It's part of it. What about you, Cap?
So I never liked it before, but I practiced a lot on it, and it's pretty nice when you get in the zone and in the flow of the track. It has a certain flow to it, but surprisingly, as Nectar said, the lap times were quite close.
Yeah, I did see when BX released the time, so that's the only thing really. So going on to early conversation, I don't actually look at results or the chat for Team 5, for Tier 5, until I actually do comms. Ah, hello Nathan. Your teammate has arrived.
Here for moral support.
I think you'll need it from the sounds of this. Jesus Christ, there's 14 people in here. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't actually look really at anything Tier 5 does or says until like a day or two after. That's when I start chapping in. And also, once I've done comms, I'll then sort of just chat and talk generally, as you've probably noticed.
I have.
Right, so how long has it been? 4 minutes, we'll give it another couple of seconds. Some more. Screw it, the 17 people here will start. So, evening, welcome all of you. There's quite a few of you actually. I think it's nearly the most I've had in a stream at one point in time. Let's do the plan first, if that's okay, Cap, and then maybe Well, and then I'll let you have one. Okay, is that all right? Right. So, welcome. I have two special guests. As I have said, I have got the two championship rivals and contenders, one in P1, one in P3 of Cap and Nectar. Good evening, gentlemen, or good afternoon, whichever part it is.
Good afternoon.
There's one.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon.
There's the other. There we go.
Thank you for having us.
So, I've already sort of talked to these two for the past, what, 10 minutes? 20 now. Jesus. Plan is ask a couple of questions because I think it's quite interesting to involve a couple of you guys, and then we'll go into the sprint, if that's okay with you two.
Sounds great.
Yep, go for it.
So, if it's okay, I will start with Cap, since he's in pole position. Wrong camera angle. Since he's in pole position, if that's okay. So,
I'll allow it.
oh, okay, I see. So, Cap, when did you know that this might be the season that you can clutch a championship?
It was in Road Atlanta feature when my pace on hards was equal to the rest of the pack on mediums after my undercut. And that idea solidified in Suzuka for when I took my first double win.
Yeah, I did notice you. Well, obviously, I noticed you had a double win, which was actually, I think it was the first double win of Tier 5 that season. I think this might be the only one. If I'm mistaken, let me just double check.
I think I had another in Alsace.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
are.
in the Moulin. Yeah.
Yeah, you are the only. Oh, and yeah, you are the only driver to really have a double win, full stop, let alone two in Tier 5. So, second question: what was your favourite race this season?
I'm torn between to choose between Suzuka and the Moulin, but I would go for Alsace since it's my OG track. There's a side story for this one. It's my first ever track I raced in any league. So yeah, I'll choose this one, the Moulin. Alsace.
Alsace.
But everyone else. Yeah.
So, how did you find the car? Because, again, a few people this season have gone the Lamborghini, which is something I never thought I'd see in a championship, let alone somebody winning and beating the likes of a Mazda. So how did you find the Lamborghini over the season?
Again, I might have told you this before. The pick was made on a whim. I really didn't like the Lamborghini before. I just saw someone write Lamborghini somewhere and I picked it. At first it was quite unstable and hard to handle. After some practice and learning the car, it proved to be capable. You just need to be a bit sane. There's still a bit more to extract out of it. As you can see in T1, people, they managed some really good times. It's nimble, that is, but unstable.
So, going into the start of this season, what were your expectations? Did you expect to be up at the front fighting for a championship, or did you just want to see where you went?
No, not at all. Not at all. I just, wanted to have fun with some, like-minded racers. And as you saw in Spa, I got bumped around a bit.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, but it was fun throughout. No expectations at first at all. Just it turned out much better than I could have expected.
And what was your toughest race this season, which you probably already answered, but...
I want to say Spa, but I'll say the ring. It still pains me.
I'm fine. And finally, if you're going to take anything away from this season going forward, what would you take away?
That's the hardest question, by the way. One of the things is maybe to practice less, which was
That's a first.
counterproductive.
I've never heard
Yeah,
someone
it
say
is.
practice less.
Yeah, because I reached the point, like I'm not sure if you say like plateau, and after that, my times were getting slower. So yeah, more is less. You know what I mean?
And go on. I'll let you.
Yeah.
The question you asked
Yeah.
me on Discord, I will let you go on. You could do
Oh
one.
yeah, just yeah. Thank you for having us first of all, and I have a shout out to Ross, Fracus, and yourself, and all of the ALR support and admins for making it such a lovely journey. And I have a special thanks to my livery sponsor, Art Archive. As you saw the pink in my last race, it's a tribute to her. Thank
Fair
you
enough.
all.
Fair enough. Oh, thank you, Kat. Thank you for that, and hope all goes well. Nectar, I'm going to come over to you if that's okay.
Yes, sir.
So, again, we're going to start going through the top. When in the season did you think that I might clutch the championship this season? When did you think that?
I think it was after week 2. I mean, I started in ALR in tier 2, which I had no business being in. I was happy to have a seat, but I was just a hazard. And then I've slowly just dropped down the tiers every season, and learning the race paces, I was like, I think I got a chance this season to do well. And then week 2, I finally won a race. I think I got second or third in the feature, and I was like, okay, this could happen. If I practice and focus, I got a chance. A lot of us are the same pace, but maybe it'll happen.
Fair enough. What was your favourite race this season?
Oh, I think I'd have to say it was the feature at Road Atlanta. Schumacher and I believe it was Schumacher and I, we had like a battle going back and forth, like a 1 second delta, and we were both racing clean and felt as close to real racing kind of as I've had in the game. And I intentionally underfueled in the pits going in right behind him to try to do a little gamesmanship, come out of the pits in front of him, and know on the last lap I was going to have to lean out. And I was like, man, at least we're trying a real strategy, and we'll see how it plays out. And then he hung with me for like 10 laps, and I'm like, oh, this is not going to work. But at least I tried it, and then he had a little air, and I had a few second gap, and I barely crossed the finish line running out of fuel, and it was just exciting, intense, and I'm like, this felt like a real race. That was the most fun.
So, Alfa Romeo 4C, it's a car. The only other driver I've ever seen drive the Alfa Romeo 4C was a very iconic moment between Iggy and Sonic, I believe in season 12 around Sardinia. One of my worst races on record. How did you find the Alfa Romeo this season?
Every season, I've let my teammate pick the car, more or less, and I put in my 2 cents, but I don't know a ton about cars. And Nate said, the Alfa Romeo, nobody ever drives it. He did a few laps with the new physics and said, it's actually pretty interesting, and I like the MR cars, and I said, let's go for it. If it's our first choice, we'll probably get it. And we did, and I've loved it.
Fair enough. So going into this season, did you have any expectations at all?
Expectations, I hoped I would place in just the top 10. I think that's the best I've ever done, is like 9th or 10th. And I figured I'd do better than the top 10, or hoped for it, because I got demoted again. But then Ross or somebody sent out an announcement, the only reason a lot of us got demoted is there's a bunch of new, faster drivers. And then I was like, no expectations, we'll just see what happens. Fair
enough. Phone's just gone to sleep, there we go. What was the toughest race this season you found?
Oh, definitely the Nordschleife. I don't know the track. It's such a long lap. I only had a few hours to try to learn it that week. Thankfully, the championship point spread had already kind of gotten pretty bad, so I was like, it's not the end of the world. But even learning the track, it's still just so brutal.
Yeah, and final one from me. If there's anything you can, are you going to take anything away from this season going forward?
Yeah. Since I was finally in the points hunt, I got too excited about the chance of it, and I'm typically very defensive, and I don't like making contact or doing aggressive dives. And Cap had just so much more pace about halfway through the season. I'm like, well, the writing's on the wall, but maybe you should push. And I pushed, and I ended up taking some people out and ruining their races. Felt terrible. And my takeaway is I need to just drive my race to the best of my ability, ignore what everyone else is doing, and just see where the chips fall.
Fair enough. Sensible. Very sensible. So, if it's okay with you two, if people need to go back to work or need to go back to doing things, you may. Thank you very much for joining me and coming on. Since I let Cap do one, Nectar, is there one particular person you want to shout out at the moment, or you want to come do it later?
Oh,
I let Cap have one, so it's only fair. Your teammate, let's find him.
I'd like
Here he
to
is.
shout out Nath. Nath, thank you so much. We would talk with any questions. He seemed more knowledgeable about cars than me, so that was helpful. And kind of funny is the reason we became teammates is I've never won a feature, still haven't won a feature, and last season I was finally gonna win it at, what was it, Dragon Trail Gardens. I had like a 20-second lead with 2 laps to go because it rained and all kinds of chaos. And out of nowhere, I just get quarter paneled, spun around, and lose the race. And I was like, I don't even know how it happened. It was a lapper unlapping himself. He drove right through me, threw it all away. And I was like, oh, you know what? I think the right thing to do here is we should be teammates, you know, and bury the hatchet kind of thing. So, and Nate's been great. That is it. Thank you, Nate.
That was
and
the last thing I
apologies if that came out
expected.
bad, Nate. Sorry. He's been great all season. That's our takeaway here. He's been great. Hopefully we'll be teammates next season.
He said, thanks, buddy. Damn, you really brought that up.
A backhanded thank you. There
So
you go.
he came to emotionally support you for this race, and you just thrown him into the trash. You kicked him to the curb.
Oh, dude, we're all good now. Sorry, Nate. Damn it.
Alright, thank you very much, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure. Like I said to the other two yesterday, if you fancy staying, you're more than welcome to. The only thing I'll ask is please mute your mic so I can just do my thing. If you stay, great. If you don't stay, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for answering my questions, because I've got nothing better in my life to be doing. Trust me, I don't. I don't know why I think of these things.
Thank you for all of it. Thank you for having
Okay,
us.
yeah, thank you so much, and thanks for the comms. I appreciate it, and we'll see you next season.
That's right, we'll see you guys soon.
Bye.
Righty ho, right, just a sec. There we go, both muted. Cool, so let's go through the grid and let's actually start racing for the first time in 10 minutes, because, yeah. So, in first position we have got Cap. In second position we got... Right, I need to have a word with you two because I did spot this. Right, where are you? Dexter and Obi-Wan. Why are you racing the wrong liveries? You're meant to have the watermelons out. I need a pair of lemons at the end of the race season, because I've seen a pair of lemons throughout the whole season. We need to have words. Regardless, for the first time, Dexter Pippa is up into second position, so a really good qualifying position from Dexter Pippa. We got Nectar in third, we got Zab in fourth, we got Obi-Wan in fifth. We got Finn in sixth, a really good qualifying session from the other Lamborghini. We then got Fracas in seventh, we got Nathan in eighth, Schumacher in ninth, Monk in 10th, Zimmer down into 11th position. Zimmer not having, from the looks of things, a great qualifying session at all. Blade in 12th, a good position for him. Quack in 13th, Slav in 14th, and Beaumont in 15th. Okay, fair enough. They're excused if there's a Senna tribute. Fair enough. I'll excuse them. But still, a pair of lemons, melons, not lemons, melons. Excuse me. Just before we make a start, since I clearly cannot do anything correctly tonight, I just had the standings up. Very briefly before we start, there is a 25-point gap difference between Nectar and Cap. For Nectar's a really stand a chance at closing that gap. Nectar needs to win this sprint, and Cap needs to really finish like fourth backwards for Nectar to really stand a chance in the feature, but we will see how it goes. As enough talking, let's get some lights on, let's hear these engines build up for the final time this season in Tier 5. It's a long hold and away we go. Cap gets a really good start, so does Dexter. Nectar doesn't seem to have moved much at all as he's going to be pressured by Obi-Wan going into turn 1. So is Fracas. Fracas is coming in. Let's keep an eye on these guys further back as they're going 3 wide through turn 1. Going further back from that, someone's already stopped. Blade's already stopped. Okay, we're going back. Tier 5 doing Tier 5 things. We can't even get through a corner. Did Blade just get a really slow start? Oh dear. We have an incident and we've not even made the apex of turn 1. So Zimmer down to 14th, Slav up to 13th, Beaumont after being hit sideways has moved up to 12th, Quack up into 11th, and pretty much everybody else has stayed in position. Never mind, as Dexter goes around, start again, as Dexter goes past Cap for the lead of this race, and here comes Zab. Zab's made up a good couple of spots, Finn's made a good spot, and Nectar's slowly dropping down. Zab has a look up the inside of turn 6 on Cap, no move being made there, looking further back. Someone's gone really wide, who's that? Someone just went really wide. I think it was one of the two BMWs. I didn't quite catch it as I'm trying to keep all the chaos in one shot, which is nearly impossible. I think it was Monk. Yeah, Monk might have gone a little bit wide because Nathan's now down to 9th. So Schumacher making a position, so is Monk. No, not quite. Monk and Nathan still battling as they go around the final corner. Nathan gets a little bit elbows deep with that, as that was Quack, excuse me, Quack. 2 red cars on the same part of the track, quite hard to keep track of. So Quack gets a little bit elbows deep in elbows wide, excuse me, into the final corner as we go through. Let's look back through the rest of the grid as Cap has just gone around the outside of Dexter for turn 1, not going to be able to make the position. What the fuck is going on back here? What have you done? Whoa! Okay, monsieur. The pedal in the middle is called the brake. Okay, you can't outbrake yourself. A little bit too keen going into turn 1, I believe, as that's just caused chaos as Monk was in a good position, Zimmer was in a good position, Beaumont's let Quack straight back through him, giving himself a time penalty, so he's trying to do the right thing. Quack's now down to 14th, Zimmer's back down to 13th, so he's got all the work he's just made up over that last lap he's got to do all over again. Monk's now down 2 positions from where he started, so Monk was having a good start to the race. That's now disappeared. Blade's now moved up a couple of spots. Slavman has somehow survived. Going further forward, we got Nathan, who's now clear behind for a little bit, as, oh my god, even more chaos. What the fuck? So, Nectar going around the outside of Finn. Can he make it work? Can we go around the outside of turn 6 and 7? It is possible. I showed it yesterday in Tier 4 and I did it. As Fracas now has a look up the inside of Nectar, not going to be able to make it work. Continuously nudges Nectar around, and this is now Nectar's race becoming undone and ruined. As the, oh, careful on the rejoin. So Nectar's race has now very much been undone and ruined. Unfortunately, by the contact back there, I'm not going to go back and look at that because that's going to be up to the stewards. I'm not going to get involved with, well, I shouldn't, no. I don't want to say anything I could get in trouble for. So, Nectar's sprint race has very much been ruined, and he's got a lot of time to make up in the next 7 to 8 laps. Going further forward, we got Dexter still leading this race with Cap just chasing up the rear now. Going into turn 1 as my phone goes beep as my partner's just texting me, which I will come back to in the interim period in 7 laps time before I get myself into trouble and before you don't hear my voice ever again. We got Zab in 3rd, a good spot at the moment in this sprint race. We got Finn in 4th, good position for him. I'm going to stick with this camera angle because the cinematic views here are a little bit trash. Further back, we got Schumacher in 5th, going through all the confusion, gaining some spots. We then got Obi-Wan in 6th, losing out a little bit. We then got Fracas, the man who I think initiated that contact. I'm not going to go saying anything, but I believe that was initiated potentially by Fracas. We then got Nathan in 8th, we got Slava in 9th, we got Blade in 10th in this group of 3 back here. We then got Zimmer in 11th, Quack in 12th as we potentially have a move for 11th. No, we don't, too far back. Further back than that, we got Monk in 13th. Monk, excuse me. In 13th, trying to catch up really from the contact from Boom on a lap ago at turn 1 as Quack goes a little wide going into the right-hander I just realised he's got a duck on the side of his car. That is absolutely perfect for his name. Going further forward, can he contest for P11? Not going to be able to do anything through here. That Ferrari does not have the legs compared to that Supra, so the Supra's going to be safe down here. Let's just stick with these guys. No, we're not. 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 Let's go back forward. The battle for the lead is very much underway as a lap later. Cap is very close this time. Does he have a look up the inside? He does look up the inside. Dexter doesn't really defend the inside. Going into turn 1, does he keep it? He does. Doesn't go too deep. So a good move from Cap, going back up into first position, extending his championship lead to Nectar, who's all the way down the last, still trying to catch up. Although that previous lap was 0.3 of a second slower than the current fastest lap. So Cap's still keeping for turn 1. Pifmer in 2nd. Zab's going to try and close up the gap. Nathan's in the 4th. It's getting a little squiggly coming out. Schumacher's in 5th, Obi-Wan's in 6th, Fracas is in 7th, Nathan's in 8th, Slav's in 9th, and Blade's in 10th. That is the top 10 at the moment. As we then got the Duck in 12th position, still chasing down that Supra. Beaumont in 14th after making that unfortunate collision. As further ahead, we got Monk trying to go up the inside of the Duck. Quack himself not going to make it work. He keeps it all together, even though that turbocharger is quite renowned on that M6 just to kick in as contact's been made going around the right-hander. With Monk backs out of it, doesn't want to do a push pass on Quack, so has to build up the momentum again. Quack gained a little bit of momentum. Zimmer's all loose into the final corner, so Zimmer's now off the circuit, completely off the track. So he's now lost all the momentum. Beaumont's now been promoted up to 13th. Let's stick with these guys for just... No move into turn 1 made by the BMW. Let's go further forward. Let's see if we can find ourselves a battle. I don't think really anyone's going to be battling. So Nectar now got Zimmer in his sights. He's closed that gap up to the back of Zimmer and to Beaumont. It was really this back of the pack, so he is closing slowly and steadily, faster laps each time. So championship leader currently at the moment, and potentially even championship leader to the stage of if he finishes in this spot, he will win it outright. I will do that calculation very briefly at the end of the race. We're halfway through this sprint race. Actually, I quite like this camera angle. We'll stick at this camera angle. That car sounds amazing going through those corners as Monk's got himself a 1 second penalty. Is this going to push him into Beaumont's territory? Is this going to push him into Zimmer's territory as well? Let's stick on board with Zimmer with the Devil's number plate. Not sure if that's meant to bring good luck or bad luck. I haven't really figured it out. It's kind of worked both ways. So the penalty line is really harsh and horrible here. It's uphill. It slows you down going uphill because you're lifting, and also it brakes. On top of that, you lose so much momentum coming down this straight. So Zimmer, with the slightly faster car down the straight, has managed to close the gap, but Nectar's closing the gap the most. So Monk losing out to the Supra of Zimmer, now going further back forward. I just want to there's not really any battles going on. kind of been a bit boring. I think the closest cars are probably going to be Nathan and Fracas at the moment. For potential battle for 7th, going a bit further back, we got battle for 9th between Slav, Blade and Quack potentially about to happen within the next couple of laps. If Blade can stay where he is for the next 4 laps, this will be one of his better results for the season in the NSX. I've heard mixed about that car. It doesn't really want to go anywhere when you try and start the race, but when eventually gets going, I know 1990s gets going, it can be okay. Yeah, they will stay. Actually, we'll stay with this group. We'll jump on board with the Ferrari so we can keep an eye on what's going on. A lot of drivers keeping it quite tight going through the final corner. Not really opening up too much. And again, keeping it quite tight going up this hill. How much of this apron does people use? Not much of it. You can use quite a bit of that apron without really getting any penalties. So Quack using the slipstream off Blade doesn't spin out, considering he does give the grass a little kiss. Using a lot of curb on turn 2 to go around the left-hander. Blade seems to have gotten the best exit out of the three drivers. Can Blade contest for 9th position? Is a move made? No moves made this lap. No defensive move either, as both Slav and Blade go right off onto the curbs. Don't think it's going to be wide enough for a penalty. Quack gets a really good run, so does Blade. Quack has to back out of it, but Blade breaks a little bit too late and goes a little bit deep, so up the inside goes Quack. Blade now drops to 11th. Quack up to 10th. Going further forward, Slav's struggling at the moment. Everyone's on soft tyres as contact's made going into the corner. Is Quack going to capitalise? He is. I think there might have been a bit of a push pass made. Is he going to give that position back? No, so I will be interested to see if that is pushed to the stewards or not. Someone might have to let me know, since I don't have access to tier 5 steward results. Now, Quack's now up to 9th, Slav's in 10th, being closely followed by Beaumont and Blade Runner in 11th and 12th, respectively. Now, I don't want to spend too much time focusing on these guys. Next has gotten past Zimmer and Monk. So Zimmer and Monk, well, Monk's now got 1.5 second penalty. Zimmer's bringing it up the rear. I want to go forward a little bit and just check the front. Let's check the front group. So Cap's extending that lead of his, slowly eking away a little bit. Someone just went a little bit wide. It's a comment which I'll have a look in a minute, as we got Nathan versus Fracas for 7th position. Nathan has just gotten past Fracas going up the hill, so Nathan promotes himself up to 7th. Fracas is now down to 8th. Oh, Fracas goes deep going into this first hairpin as we go a little bit further back, because I think this is going to be where the battle is, and we'll stay around here for a moment. Blade's gotten past Slav, which was probably around the back of the straight, I should imagine, as Beaumont has a look around the left hand, and not really a place you want to stick your nose in. The driver ahead's not going to expect it. There's a little bit of a defensive move there from Slav. None of the drivers using the outside curb either. You can use that if you want. There's two lines through there if you want to use it. Slav opening the corner up a lot more. All 3 drivers using the exit curb to try and maximise the speed as we go charging up the hill. Now the Jaguar has got some legs on it, but it's not got quite as long legs as that Supra. Can the Jag keep up or even close the gap to the Supra? No. The Supra is actually going to close up on Blade. Oh, that's a very late move and a very, very late lunge with a capital L made, which is not what you want to be doing from that far back at all. Luckily, that's not cost you any time to Beaumont. Now, further back, Nectar is slowly catching up to Beaumont. He's basically got another lap to potentially get up to 10th position. He's still got to get past Beaumont, Slav and Blade for 10th position. So, keeping an eye out on Nectar going further forward. Is anybody else having a battle? Fracas and Nathan are caught up to Obi-Wan. So the battle for 6th position is very much on. Obi-Wan's gotten a little bit deep through the right-handers, and we now go downhill around the left. Obi-Wan defends inside. Nathan's trying everything he can, trying all sorts of different lines, trying to offset. As I just missed that as I was looking at the mini-map to see if something else was going on. I want to watch this again. Nathan defends the inside. Nathan last second pulls out, tries to open up the corner. Does Nathan... Oh, he just lights it up. He just lights up the rear wheels on his own. So Obi-Wan losing out 2 positions from a little bit of pressure. Oh, who's messed up? More mess ups further back. So what happened to Blade? Oh, just a little bit too much exit curb and just lights up the rear as he goes into the wall. Excuse me. No damage done. So this now makes Nectar's job a lot easier. 1 car down, 2 to go for 10th position. Can Nectar gain 10th? Well, he's got a lot better exit than that Supra, so 1 just probably already going to be done by the time we get to the final of the 2 left-handers. Not quite. Now Beaumont's not. Beaumont always just about got the slipstream, only just, but that Supra is very, very quick down the straight line. So who's late on the brakes? Lab's going to be a lot later on the brakes. Nectar's braked a little bit earlier, got the cleaner line. So Nectar moved up to 11th, Slav moves down to 12th. Nectar holding the cleaner line than Slav, who offset himself going into turn 1, trying to defend 11th. Has just lost out. So we're on the final lap of this race. We'll just follow these guys for another couple of corners. Let's move forward just a little bit. Oh, Fracas gets a little bit squiggly as we go into this very twisty section. A little bit further forward, Finn's all over the back of Zab. I'm surprised Finn hasn't locked up more, considering his ABS settings, but we're going to go up to his teammate, who has pretty much led since the start. He's only had a couple of laps where he was behind Pippa, where once he passed, he just opened up the gap. I've just spotted the windscreen wipers going off as he's flashing his lights, waving around as Cap comes over the start finish line to take victory here in the sprint race. Pippa on the podium for the first time as Finn gets past on the final corner. So Finn gets 3rd position. Great job from him. Zab in 4th, Schumacher in 6th, Nathan in 6th, Fracas in 7th, Obi-Wan in 8th. We got Quack in 9th as we got a really bad camera angle as Beaumont just about holds on to 10th, leaving Nectar down into 11th. So Nectar not going to get the reverse top 10 he was hoping for. Slav in 12th. We got Zimmer in 13th. The 2 Supras had a horrible race. And also the soft tyres pretty much gone for them. Monk in 14th and then Blade bringing up the rear in 15th. If my math is correct, so Nectar finished in 11th. I believe just from that race alone, don't quote me, Cap has just won the championship, Drivers' Championship. Just from that race. However, to confirm, we'll wait until the end of the feature. Now, I'm going to catch up very, very briefly with comms. No submissions, wow. So you need 18 or 19 points to clear it. Okay, so you're not quite there. So, no, you're not quite there. So, if you... He didn't, so Nectar didn't score any. He was in 11th, so he scored 0. You were on 1st, so you were on 15th, 25, 30, 40. No, you... I think you've won it. The fact that... Oh, come on, load. So, Nectar finishing in 11th on the sprint race scores 0 points. You in 1st scores 15, meaning 25 plus 15 is 40. So if Nectar wins this, if Nectar wins the feature race, and if you don't score any points, You still win by 15 points. Hang on. Yeah, by 15 points. Yeah. But anyway, like I said, I'm going to wait until the end of the feature before I officially say yeah. Because, yeah. Finally, 100. Because that was just really unlucky from Nectar. It was a bit like Swavi in yesterday in Tier 4. For those who haven't seen it, definitely go and watch it. Very interesting. And Swavi just got really unlucky, lit up the rear tyres coming out of turn 4, start of turn 5 whilst he was having a battle with Davy and I in the feature race. He could have contested auto, very much could have contested auto, and still battled auto for the championship, but unfortunately, and really unfortunately, just span it out and then dropped all the way down to last. And yeah, I can imagine the feeling of just plummeting feeling of the fact that the chances of your chance is just right. What the wise? What? Right, so Gran Turismo doesn't know how to set a grid order clearly. So we got Beaumont in first. We then got Quack in second. Obi-Wan in first. Oh, well, I'll go through the show. Evening, Dexter, Pippa, whichever one you run off, whichever cat's closest to you. Good evening. Very quickly. This pit lane is really long. It takes forever to get through this pit lane. So the ideal strategy is a one stop here. So medium is ideal. You can do hard medium or hard, potentially a hard soft. I've never seen it tried, but you'd have to make a fuel tank the last 20 laps, which I don't think is possible. So going through, we got Beaumont in first. The Frenchman is leading the pack with Donald Duck Quack in second position. We then got Obi-Wan in third. We got Fracas in fourth. Nathan in fifth. Schumacher in sixth. Zab in seventh. Finn in eighth. Finally, we got everything in correct order. Dexter Pippa in ninth, and then the championship leader currently at the end of this sprint race in 10th. Just behind him is Nectar in 11th. We then got Slav in 12th, Zimmer in 13th, Monk in 14th, and Blade in 15th. So, let's get this show onto the road. As we make a start going down the start-finish straight. Quack not quite close enough to pressure, but Fracas is already potentially trying to pressure Obi-Wan for third position. Might lose out to Nathan. There we go, the grid's now finally sorted itself out. Fracas is deciding to become a lawnmower for Monday evening as Nathan's now got the run on Fracas. So Fracas losing out fifth position already. Nathan's in a horrible spot where he's got to try and defend as best as he can. Fracas gives the Alfa Romeo a nudge. This promotes Zab up to fifth, Finn up to sixth. Schumacher now drops 2 positions down to seventh, and Fracas now loses 4 positions and goes all the way down to eighth. Further ahead, we got Beaumont versus Quack ahead. We'll keep an eye on that. Looking further back, Nathan loses out to Zab. I think he's just been caught sleeping. Finn has a moment of his own going through the same corner. Looking further back, Schumacher's just holding on. Fracas has got a 1.5 second penalty. I'll come to the comments in just a moment. As looking further ahead, Nathan's defending like mad. Fracas is trying to get around the outside of Schumacher's. We got Nectar's now getting caught into the mixes. What's gone on back here? Let's go back and have a look just a moment, because Okay, I already hear tyre screech. What has happened? I hear tyre screeching. Ooh! Oh my god! What the? Yeah, a minefield is an understatement, is what we've just witnessed. So what actually happens? So does Slav outbrake himself a little bit? Just about holds on. Zimmer does his own thing. And just he's over there on the right hand side. Monk gets it all sorts of wrong. Goes into the back and Nectar. The Alfa Romeo's exhaust pipes are being very well used this evening by multiple cars. Yeah, how did you do? You got very lucky. So, plate all the way back here, not being anywhere near this. So Zimmer does his own thing and kind of crashes himself by touching the grass. Monk collides into the back, and there's no other way of putting it. Does collide into the back of Nectar. Nectar collides into the back of Slav, and Slav is just yeeted into another dimension. Cap is then boosted up to 9th position. Nectar somehow survives with no damage. Blade makes up positions. Slav's got rear bumper damage. As Monk leaves the race. Yep, okay. You've got very good reason to leave the race after that. Oh my god. So, Monk has left us, which now leaves us down to 14. The two Supras all the way down back. Let's go back further forward, as Cap does not get the exit he's after at all. No, he's on hards. I didn't even twig. Cap's on hards. So Cap may be looking at going long a little bit like he did at Road Atlanta, but the other way around, as Nectar goes sailing past him. Nectar's now going to try and contest Pippa for ninth, as Fracas has got himself a 1.5 second penalty further ahead. Right, so this is where we now got to. Going further forward, we can see Nathan defending. What the hell was going on over here? I swear I spend more time pressing the rewind button in tier 4 than tier 5, sorry, than I do when I'm trying to spectate my own stuff. Oh, Pippa gets it a little wrong. Nearly takes out Schumacher. Nearly takes out Fracas. So Alex Albon and Lewis Hamilton moment just about avoided. As Dex is trying to hold off Cap. Just about holds off Cap. Nectar's now trying to attack Fracas. Fracas has nearly gone into the back. Well, nearly outbraked himself a little bit. But now Fracas is going to have himself a penalty. Cap's not gotten past Pippa on the exit. Now this is going to bring Fracas into this fray. He's now not ghosted anymore. So through goes Blade. He's going to lose out to Slav. Is he going to lose out to Zimmer as well? Let's stick with this group for just another couple of corners. Is there going to be a move for into turn 1? There is further up ahead. Slav does a beautiful move for 11th position further ahead. Cap, I believe, defends from Pippa for 9th position. This is now allowing Nectar just to disappear. But here comes Slav. Slav has got the better straight line speed than that Renault. Can the Renault outbrake Slav? No, Slav is really good on the brakes this evening as Slav gets up the inside of Pippa for 10th position. So Pippa's first podium positions now just crumbling away. They're now down into 11th position. Going further forward, we have got Nathan in 5th, we got Finn in 6th. Going further forward than that, we got Zab in 4th, Obi-Wan in 3rd. We still got Crack and Boomon fighting it out for the lead. Going further backwards, what's happened back here? I spotted that. I heard that. What's going on? back here. Something's happened back here. I spotted it on the radar. That's what's happened back here. So, Blade deciding to turn that Honda into a JDM on the final race. I mean, I would. Not quite like that, though. There we go. There's the gear. Find a gear. If you can't find them, grind them. Now going further forward, Fracas is now up to 13th as the sun is starting to shine here. I don't think it can rain here either, so dry tyres are going to be mandatory now as we go further forward. We'll stick with Slav for just a moment. Pippa's already defending the inside. Now going outside. That's all defensive move done. Brakes a little bit early. Slav brakes late. Dexter goes for the switchback, gets the move done, and has a much cleaner line going through too. So Slav's doing the same move as he did in the sprint, and it's not worked. You need to change up just a little bit. Maybe brake at the same point or just a little bit earlier, but up the inside, and you'll get that move done. Now let's go further forward as Cap's now starting to reel in. Nectar just a little bit. No, Nectar's still pulling away. Never managed to look at lap times. So Nectar's just starting to reel it in further up ahead. What did you do? What did you do? Yeah, that'd do it. Massive lock-up going into the double right-hander. Huge lock-up. So this has put Finn right into the clutches of Schumacher. If you keep locking up into corners, A, that's not going to do your tyres any good, and B, it's going to just make you drop back even further. So going further up ahead, finally, we have a move for the... Move was a couple of weeks ago. Here we go, let's come back here. Now let's go back a little bit further. So, when did this happen? What did I miss whilst I was busy looking further back? As Beaumont lights up the rear tyres going into turn 3, Fracas, the yellow rubber duck just says thank you very much. I'm going to take the lead, and we're going to have a duck who's going to lead this race. Beak first. I love how it says duck off on the top of the spoiler. I love that. So Beaumont's going to try and keep up and chase down Quack back for first position. We were, which is about here. So Beaumont's dropped off the back a little bit off the leader. Obi-Wan's starting to catch up to Beaumont a little bit, but he's got to be careful because he's got Zab just behind him. Going further back, we've got Nathan just behind them as well, so Nathan's in a very good spot. Finn's under pressure from Schumacher now. Then we got Nectar just behind them as well. Doesn't look like Nectar's got the exit he was after, going over the brow of the hill, dropping a little bit off the back of Schumacher just a little bit. Are we going to have a move going into turn 1? Finn brakes a little bit early, maybe a little bit of a lock-up as we go into turn 1. Now this brings Nectar straight back into it. Nectar, having lost a little bit of time down the straight, has made it all back up in the first 3 corners. Are we going to see a move going into turn 4? No is the answer to that question. However, we're going to stay with these guys since Nectar's had a good run on Schumacher. Schumacher's not really aware that Nectar's there at the moment. Kind of... Oh, careful. Schumacher doesn't really give Nectar too much space to work with. Schumacher, I'm not even sure if Schumacher's aware that Nectar's there, so Nectar sends it up the inside. Okay, move is a little bit of a leaning on each other, but to be fair, if the driver doesn't know you're there, then it's kind of hard to pass if they don't know you're there. So Nectar up to 7th, now trying to chase down Finn. Further up ahead, we got the battle for 2nd at the moment. The rubber duck is loose. The rubber duck has been let loose in the bathtub and is now taking off. Zaba's got an absolutely fantastic exit compared to Obi-Wan further back, as we got Beaumont now under pressure, very serious pressure from this Mazda. No move into turn 1. made. Probably could have had a look there. Maybe offset Beaumont for this sequence of corners. Fracas gets a much better corner. Is he going to try and move around the outside? He does take it wider. Beaumont doesn't defend. He could have defended the inside line there, but he didn't. So Zab's going to go up the inside, going up to turn 4. Beaumont breaks a little bit later. Oh, just about gets past. No contact made at all. No pushing. No push or no door slamming required from Zab. So Zab now up to second. Beaumont now drops down to third. And as we got Obi-Wan in 4th position, now start trying to chase down the Frenchman. Both drivers going quite tight into this left-hander, not opening up the corner quite as much as Obi-Wan. As further back we got Nathan as well, so Nathan's very much in this picture. Let's stick with these guys for the next couple of corners. Obi-Wan has a look up the inside, doesn't make it work. As I hear Finn having a huge lock up in the background. I did have to double check the map for that one to make sure there was no spinning. So we'll stick with these guys until we get to turn 3 potentially. The rubber duck is just gone. He's disappeared as wrong tier. Oh no, wrong person, not wrong tier, correct tier, wrong person, as Nathan tries to have a look up the inside of Obi-Wan, not going to make it work. Obi-Wan's a little loose on the exit of 2, start of 3. This is going to allow Beaumont to get away a little bit. Is this going to allow Nathan to have a look? Obi-Wan defends the inside, then comes back. So that was his one defensive move for this corner. No move done. Going further back, the other Alfa Romeo is still all over the back of the Lamborghini. Yes, they have voices. I did a little special at the start. Let's go back through the rest of the grid. See what is going on as Frax finds himself now down to 13th. As Blade's doing Blade things, he's trying to catch up to the back of this pack. Fracas now going to bring the fight to both the GR Supras. We'll keep an eye. I'll have to keep an eye out over this. How's everybody's tyres doing? I think the worst person at the moment on tyres is probably got to be Slav. Yeah, at the moment I think it's Slav. Oh, no, Schumacher actually. Schumacher has probably one of the worst tyres of the grid. He still believes my cat did the driving. Wouldn't surprise me. Nectar locks. Fair enough. Oh, Finn goes all sorts of wrong going through turn 3. That's turn 3. As we'll follow Nectar going down. I choose to believe. Fair enough. You've got a better mindset than me. On this race, as there was another little lock up going into turn 4. Finn's now gone really wide as the gap as a look up the inside of 5. Had to lift out of it just for a moment. He's still there though. I wouldn't advise trying to go around the outside of Finn, considering he could lock up as Finn touches the grass. There's a little bit of contact because Finn touched the grass. As he touches the grass again and loses it, so here comes his teammate. So Finn potentially about to lose out to his teammate as well. The team order is going to come into effect, or they're going to battle it out. I think they're going to battle it out. As we go around the right-hander, Finn holds the inside line. Cap has to back out of it. So no team orders coming into effect on the Lamborghini, Team Lamborghini. Next is now up into 6th position, with his teammate ahead in 5th, still battling with Obi-Wan. As now the top pack's starting to spread themselves out just a little bit. So let's come back. Oh, was that a move? No, it's potentially. No move done. Potentially one up here is Cap really late on the brakes, and Finn's just gone. Oh my god! Finn does not know what the heck. Okay, what's happened here? When did you brake? really early. As you completely lock up. Schumacher's now going to try and take advantage of this. As Finn just comes almost colliding into the path of the BMW driver. Now Dexter's going to try and capitalise as well. So Cap now up to 7th. Finn now down to 9th. Can Dexter try and capitalise as well? Schumacher's going to have a look up the inside. So is Dexter. So we've got a 2x2 at the moment. We've got Cap who's just got what that. Right. Let's go on board here. Let's find out what's going on up here first. Did you just go wide? No, you got a little push actually. So, Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen moment into turn 4. Schumacher then just loses it. Dexter's got nowhere to go. There is no way you can avoid this. Cap's over here going to be doing his own thing. He's probably going to get a penalty because he's flat out, as you can see, just over here. And then you got Finn in the sandwich. Oh, Dexter somehow survives with no damage. So does Finn. Cap's been pushed right out wide. Schumacher's now facing the wrong way, so it's sort of like a Sebastian Vettel moment back in like 2010 or 12 or something like that, whichever one it was. Fracas now moves up. Excuse me, to 12. So Fracas has dropped right off the bat after 2 Supras when I last looked at them. So Zimmer in 10th. Slav into 11th. Cap now down to 9th. Finn up to down to 8th. Dexter up to 7th. Somehow avoiding damage and having real big problems. It was a near moat. Yeah, you kind of did avoid it. There was a little bit of contact though. Now going further ahead, Nectar's starting to reel in this top 5 as Nathan's still all over the back of Obi-Wan, keeping consistent pressure. Obi-Wan's holding on well, holding on nicely. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't get a penalty actually. But then again, you did get pushed off, so I think the game did just about register that. But we're going to stay up here as Zab backs out of this one. Zab's tyres are very much low. Very low actually. Considering we're 9 laps in, we're not even at the halfway point yet. We've still got another 4 laps until we're at the halfway point. Quack's tyres can probably go to the halfway point, maybe a little bit further. I'm not sure about Zab's going further back. Beaumont's about similar to Zab's really. Going further back than that, we got Obi-Wan actually on the best tyres in the top 4. Nathan's about the same. Nectar's a little bit worse off than his teammate, going a bit further back than that. Dexter's got some good tyres. Finn's got good tyres considering the lockups he's doing. Cap has the best tyres, but it's because he's on a completely different compound. Zimmer's tyres are okay. Slav's are okay. Fracas's are okay. Schumacher's are not looking too good. And Blades are okay at the moment as well. Let's stick with these two though. Let's do a bit of cinematic views. Oh, actually, yeah, we will jump on board, actually. This is the closest Nathan has been the whole time. Is he going to... No, he's not going to try. Surprising, he's not going to try move into turn 1. I probably would have. I was close. If I was that close, I'd have a look. Going further forward, we got Zap the Ukrainian versus the Rubber Duck of Quack. As the Rubber Duck does not have enough... does not have the leg speed in its tiny little flippers to keep up with the Mazda. As the Mazda goes wide, does the little flippers work on its acceleration? No, not quite. So Quack's going to lose out the lead to the Red Bull Mazda. Although he's got better cornering at the moment. So Quack's got better tyres, which means he's got a faster cornering speed. You don't want to be doing that though. That's not what you want to be doing. So we'll keep an eye on those two for just a moment. as Obi-Wan's now doing a really good job at holding up Nathan. Nathan's losing time to Beaumont, as this might be the moment as we go up the inside. No, Obi-Wan's still going to hold the fourth position, so a good fourth position. But this is not bringing Nectar into play. This is not bringing... Nathan's bringing his teammate into this. So are these two going to try and work together? Considering, as we just heard, that these two actually had a collision last season as race leader and back marker, are these two as teammates in 5th and 6th going to work together? You shouldn't have told me the story, because I'm now going to make it a thing in this race. Nectar not able to keep up through turn 3. Let's stick with Nathan. I'll come back ahead to the front of the field in just a moment. No move going into turn 4, so let's jump forward. Ooh, that's a lovely camera angle. Nectar slowly catching back up with his teammate Dexter, sort of in a race of their own. Cap and Finn have finally sorted out their positions. Fracas is now up to 10th. Schumacher up to 11th with a 3.5 second penalty. What did you do to deserve that? Blade in 12th, and both Supras on the same strategy, pitting. And they haven't taken any fuel on, so they're gonna go. They're slotting themselves in for the 2-stop. Interesting. Oh, Zab goes wide. Let's jump on board. Let's go back and watch these two, as I was looking through the rest of the grid very, very briefly. What's going back here? Nothing. Let's go back to the lead as Zab goes a little deep around the second right-hander. This allows Quack straight up the inside to go downhill around the left. This is a tricky corner to get right. As Quack gets a switch back, has a look up the inside. No, he doesn't. But Zab goes deep. Zab outbrakes himself a little bit, misses the apex, kisses the grass on exit. This is going to allow Quack up the inside for the double right-hander. Is he going to squeeze him out? He is. He's going to squeeze out Zab, but Zab now has the inside line, so Quack should have kept it tight to hold the inside line. It's not going to be who's the bravest on the brakes. They're both about the same. If anything, it's going Zab's direction a little bit. So Zab goes straight up the inside into turn 1. Quack's now got to redo all of that again. This is now allowing Beaumont to come straight back up to the back of this slot. As what's happened to Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan got past. Nathan got past. Oh, let's come back here. Something did happen. So, Obi-Wan had another moment like he did in the sprint race. So Nathan goes straight on through. No dramas there. Did Obi-Wan just go a little deep? No, he got it. He is okay. If anything, I'd probably say that's actually almost bang on perfect. These guys keeping it quite tight. Coming around the final left-hander, no one using the extra apron available. Does Nectar have a look up the inside? He has a look. He does go for it. He brakes a lot later than Obi-Wan, so Nectar straight up the inside, not hanging around, goes through in at turn 1. Does he hold it? He does. Obi-Wan struggling and understeering all the way out onto the curve, out the exit of turn 3. So this is going to allow Nectar and Nathan a bit of clean air now. So Nathan's able to catch up with the top 3. Nectar's got a little bit of just about outside of slipstream from his teammate, and Nectar's now going to try and drive away from Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan's now going to be in the slipstream and in the dirty air of the Alfa Romeo in front of him. But Obi-Wan's teammate Dexter's just behind them, slowly catching up with the top 6. Further back than that, Cap's starting to catch up as well. He's got really good tyres. If his fuel lasted, he could go quite a long way in this race. Further back than that, we got Finn. Tyres are starting to drop a little bit. We got Fracas in 10th. We got Schumacher on nearly dead front right tyres. And then we got Blade in 12th, and then we got the 2 Supras together on track. Now I'm expecting quite a few people to come in this lap and stick with these two. What are they going to do? So the top 2 stay out. Top 3 stay out. Top 4 stays out, and no one going for the undercut. Interesting. So I did actually undercut, and I gained 3 seconds on the undercut to my teammate, who was about 2 or 3 seconds up the road when I pitted. Fair enough. No, fair enough. Right, going back further forward. Did anyone actually pit? No, nobody pitted. I'm surprised Schumacher didn't pit. Schumacher should have pitted. Okay, you're going to come out way back here, but you're in 11th, so you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. And on top of that, your front right, excuse me, is almost shot. So you're going to lose more time now than if you pitted. But yeah, we'll see. So Tier 5 doing another Tier 5 thing, and surprisingly, Cap could go on for another couple of laps. He could try the overcut here. And let's find out. So let's see what goes on. Who comes in? Everybody? Everybody. Obi-Wan stays out. Dexter stays out. Cap stays out. Finn stays out. Interesting. So, the Renaults and the Lamborghinis doing different same strategies. As what's happened to I leave you for 30 seconds. Yeah, that front right is gone. I'm surprised you actually made it around without that tyre dying. Just spin it. No, you just understeered straight off into the grass. You touch the throttle and you just spin. Oh, well, they did a good job at avoiding then. So I'm expecting Blake to come in. Expecting Schumacher to come in. Now, we're going to stay on board with Zimmer. I want to find out, where does our net race leader come out in comparison to Zimmer? So Zimmer's on the 2-stop. Same with Slav. Where does he come out? Ooh, nearly touches the grass, as a lot of them are actually ahead. So Nathan's managed to undercut quite a bit, actually, under fueling. He's managed to undercut Zab, Beaumont, Quack. Zimmer goes through into 9th. Nectar's now behind Zimmer. He's currently got to fend from Slav, who's on slightly worn tyres, but they're all warm. They're ready to go. Yeah, I think should have gone in. Like I said, I did the undercut on my race in Tier 4 eventually once we got there. And I gained, so I was about 2 seconds back from my teammate when I pitted. When I came out, I then gained 3 seconds on my teammate. So I could have nearly gained 5 seconds. They might just be a little bit more fuel efficient than the Mazdas. It depends on your driving style. So, ooh, I saw that. I just saw that. You got away with that. So, I'm surprised. So, Obi-Wan's our race leader. Cap's still going, which I'm expecting. I'm surprised that Obi-Wan and Finn are still going. As Zab goes up the inside, does he make it work? Oh, no, I don't know actually. Let's go back and watch that again. Let's watch that from Zab's point of view as we go up the inside. Does it make it work? There's the contact. We just spotted it. So, Zab's now going to be loose. Where's the buttons? That's the button I'm looking for. Zab's now very much loose. His wheel's still turning to the right hand side, but his car's been projected to the left. Nathan's now having to push Zab. Now this is just burning time, because whilst these two are squabbling, Zab's been very much pushed offline, so this is going to allow Nathan back up to 4th, but here comes Beaumont with the momentum, so Beaumont could actually gain 2 spots if he plays his cards right. Zab's going to have a look up the inside of Nathan, so Beaumont comes in behind, potentially going to try and get Zab around the outside or try and get a double. Not going to get the double. He does do Zab around the outside though. Does he make it stick? Yes, no contact made between Zab and the Jag. But here comes Zimmer. Zimmer's now getting stuck in with this as well, and Nectar and Slava all in this as well. So Nathan holding up the whole half the grid at the moment, it seems. As we go downhill around the left-hander, who's Nectar. What happened to you? Slav is right behind you as you are in a Supra sandwich. Oh, that's not going to help you. That was very much a push past. Did he give that position back? Doesn't look like it. Good job for not just getting angry. I think, did he just go wide on? I don't know if he went wide on purpose, but I think you're definitely going to take it, and I'd probably say that's they're going through. So now here comes Quack. Not able to make anything around the outside of Slav, so going further forward. Nathan still holds on as the final 3 drivers to pit all pit at the same time. So Nathan is now going to be our race leader as we come over the start finish line. As Obi-Wan comes out of the pit lane, he's probably going to lose out as Zab goes up the inside of Beaumont in turn 1. This time makes it work. Does he give space? Not, well, kind of just about gives him space. Not really much space to work with there. As now Nathan takes the lead. Obi-Wan's going to come out in second with a 3-second penalty. How on earth did you get a 3-second penalty here? How did you get a 3-second penalty here? It's one of the easiest pit lanes to enter, in my opinion. There? Yeah, there. You can cut that, and you can cut that. I think you... Okay. So you touched the white line there. That might be what's caused it. As we carry on. Why you yank the wheel so much, I'm not sure here. I think it might be there that you get the penalty. Capcom is alright. Finn's okay. Right. Let's go from here. So, Obi-Wan was in a really good spot. No, on the exit was fine. It was the entry, going further. Let's come back further here. Oh, Zimmer gives Zab a little nudge. Zab manages to hold on, Beaumont going wide on his own. Zab now goes up the inside of turn 5, which promotes him up to 3rd temporarily, but it's not over yet as we go around the double right-hander. Zab holds the middle of the road. Holding up Beaumont now, Nectar's just behind. Is Nectar going to try and have a look? As the contact was very nearly made into the back of that Supra. We go around the left-hander. Nathan's just disappearing. Nathan's using this very much to his advantage. Nectar trying to go up the inside of Zimmer. Zimmer wise to it and defends. Further back we got Quackhouse versus Slav. Quack gets a little bit tight, loses the rear of the car, which is not ideal. Further back than that we got Cap, who's in the back of this group, so everybody's now on the mediums, and then we've got Dexter bringing up 10th, we got Finn in 11th, Fracas way back in 12th, Blade way back in 13th, and Schumacher way back in 14th. But let's go back to them. What on earth has happened? How do you crash in a straight line? Mind you, this is tier 5. I'm beyond asking at this point. Right, so Obi-Wan serves the penalty. I'm going to actually go from back here because this is probably there. Now, let's go from this. Let's go from this view here because this is quite a common view for a lot of people. Not the view I run, but this is common. So, I want to note something already. Looking back. These two drivers are going up the inside. There's a car already out here. Okay, where the... And there's very noticeably slower. Noticeably slower. Now, Obi-Wan here does the right thing. He stays out wide. Now, yes, Quack is up his inside. Let's go back from this point of view. But Obi-Wan's still there. And Slav's not really noticed. He's still going flat out. There's 20 miles an hour difference here. And then last second, yanks the wheel to the left. Collides with Quack, who just gets nudged out the way. No damage, no damage, somehow no damage. Now spins out, collides with the wall. I'm sorry, but I feel this is on you here. Because... Where is he? There he is. Obi-Wan was sat right around the outside. He didn't move. Ew, that was close. This Cap very much squeezes out Obi-Wan now. Dexter's going to capitalise and overtake Cap. Is Dexter going to try for Quack as well? No, a bit too far back for Quack this time. So Dexter move up to 7th. Quack still holds 6th position. Obi-Wan now down to 9th. Cap now down or slash up to 8th, whichever way you want to put it, as he goes really wide. Is this now going to allow Obi-Wan up the inside? This is going to allow Obi-Wan up the inside of turn 7. As we go up to turn 8, as we go up the inside again. No contact made at all as we go round the left hand. Now Cap has the advantage. Cap keeps the position. I'm going to have a look at the comments just briefly because this is probably going to be about what I just spoke. And the battle begins. Yeah, I will show you actually. This is the point of view I run. I run this because in the mirror, which means I don't have to run a radar. I can then run like fuel or track map or radar or brake bias or traction control, something different. So I run, like I said, I run this view here. This is what I run. This to me is normal. I can't... This is a good view, I just can't get on with it because I don't like the fact that there's no mirror. I don't understand how people can drive in this, some people do. This view's quite good and quite cool, but again, no mirror here. If there was a mirror, I'd probably use this as well. But anyway, enough talking about my points of view. We need to be talking about the race because that's what we're here for. As Cap goes up the inside of Dexter, makes it work go beautifully into turn 4. So the two Renaults now down in 8th and 9th, so they're going to start working together to try and grab Cap. Let's go back to Obi-Wan's point of view as Dexter's not done, as Dexter goes up the inside of turn 6, makes it work, and there's a lovely move, and here comes Obi-Wan trying to go up the inside of turn 8. It's a little bit wide. A little touch was made, but nothing to be worried about. As Obi-Wan now goes a little wide. Cap looking for the switchback. Not able to get it to work this time. Tries to go around the outside of the Renault. Doesn't make it work. The Renault just about gives enough space. Makes it work actually. Gets a lovely run. Goes up the inside. And the battle continues. Ooh, no, it's not going to. Not with that exit. Alright, take care Nathan. Just whilst he goes, I want to give him his moment of glory. He is taking off. I'm just going to give him just a moment. Nathan is very much in control of this race with Zab in 2nd, opening up a gap to Beaumont in 3rd, Nectar in 4th, Zimmer in 5th. We then got Quack the Duck in 6th, Dexter just about holding off, Cap in 7th, Cap in 8th, Obi-Wan in 9th, Slav in 10th, Finn in 11th. Blade, what the... Cheers Nathan, mate. As we got Blade in 12th, let's actually go back to the... Fuck it, this will do. And then got Schumacher in 13th, and we then got Fracas in 14th, but I'm more interested in this battle here. Let's go back And actually watch as another move up the inside from Cap. Dexter hasn't defended that, or wasn't able to defend that as we go through turn 4. Out of 5, up towards 6 and 7, the double right-hander. Dexter has a late move up the inside. A little bit of contact was made, but it's been kept fair and square. No car spinning out. As now Pippa has the inside line for turn 8, I believe it is called. We go around the left-hander of 9, a lovely corner. Fire it out of the corner. So no moves this time, as now Obi-Wan's starting to catch up to the back of this group as well. Going further back, we got these two having their own little battle as well. Let's jump on board with Slav. Finn goes a little wide. Finn defends the inside, a little lock up. Slav gets better braking. Tries to switch back as a little bit of a nudge. Out comes the throttle. And Finn keeps the position for the moment. Let's go back forward. I need 2 screens to watch 2 sets of battles, because trying to watch them and this is going to be interesting. So we'll stay with this group for a moment. Let's jump on board with Cap now. Does Dexter defend the inside? Dexter does defend the inside, so Cap's now going to have to go around the outside. It's battle of the brakes. Who's the bravest? Both about the same, if anything. Advantage, slight advantage Cap on braking, but actually no, a slight advantage Dexter actually, because Dexter braked just a little bit earlier, able to square it off nicely. Both got about the same sort of exit. Obi-Wan's nowhere to be seen with this one, so it's going to be a flat fight between these two. Dexter doesn't defend the inside, outbrakes Cap by a little bit. Can they drive it around the outside? Keeps it off the curb, keeps the momentum, but Cap's got the inside line slightly shorter. Not quite far enough ahead though, still got an axle on the inside. Oh, just about keeps it clean. Cap's now off into the dirt, so Pippa's up to 7th, and here comes Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's trying to capitalise as we go round turn 8. Has the inside line, but Cap's now going to have the inside line for turn 9, the left-hander, but it's got a little bit of dirt on the tyres as Obi-Wan drives it around the outside beautifully. So a fantastic move there from the Renault. Cap cutting a little bit of the corner as Obi-Wan does another mistake in the same area. Lights up the rear tyres, losing them a little bit of momentum, not quite enough for it to be a problem for the next couple of corners. What sort of exits are we getting? Slight advantage to the Renault, got a slightly better exit. It happens. Robin's racing, as I say, like sensible rubbing, as the 2 Supras come into their pits for their second and final stop. So it's now going to release Finn a little bit. You will. Yeah, in my personal view, if there's a little bit of rubbing, as in just, I mean like the minute little bit of contact, like 2 cars just rub past each other. There's Beaumont. What the hell have you done? Nectar tries to go round the outside of Beaumont. Beaumont just gets out onto the curbs, keeps the throttle. Oh my. Okay, let's go back. So what I mean by rubbing is racing, and I think a little bit of rubbing is not a bad thing. I mean something like, because I believe I saw it this. If you two are like this going around a corner, I don't think there's a problem with that. Providing this driver or that driver doesn't do anything stupid, I don't think it's a problem. Like there, Beaumont gets ahead of the brakes. Nectar backs out of it. That, however, Nectar cannot go anywhere. Things like that happen, but if Nectar did that deliberately, then yeah, personally I have a problem with that, because it's a contact. But Beaumont lost it on the exit, very similarly to Suave, as a matter of fact. And being in Nectar's position myself, there is literally nowhere for you to go. So Beaumont now unlucky and lights up the rear, trying to get going again. Got to be a little bit careful. No traction control, and you've just lit up the rear tyres. So Beaumont was in 3rd, having a really good race. Now dropped all the way down to 8th after lighting up the rear. Understeers around turn 6 and 7 as well as we go further forward. all over the back of Quack. We've got Obi-Wan trying to defend Cap as well, so we'll stay with this group for the moment. We've also got Finn all over the back of Beaumont, so I want to try and stay with these guys as much as I can, as Obi-Wan just about outdrives Cap. But Cap's got the momentum. Cap goes for the inside of the final corner. I'm going to call it the final corner because it's a proper corner instead of just two left-handers. So Cap gets a move done there, which is the first time I've actually seen a move in the commentary that I have done. So good move from Cap. Obi-Wan loses out a little bit. Pepper's lost out a little bit of momentum to Quack. Let's go a bit further back. Beaumont's still just about holding off Finn. I'm not expecting a lunge from Finn, but this could be surprised. I actually know. Should have a go. Definitely have a go. No. Finn breaks a little bit early because of the ABS. Again, down to personal choices. Not a problem. Personal choice of how you want to drive is up to you. But if you had ABS like this, you probably would have 8th. But that's my view. Race how you feel comfortable racing. The move up the inside is not quite going to work. Beaumont's going to do sweeping out around the outside. Is he going to make the same mistake again? No. He does lose a lot of momentum though. Just about leaves Finn enough space as further up ahead. We'll come back to further up ahead in just a moment. So Finn gets 8th position. Beaumont's now dropped down to 9th. As we have a lunge up the inside, going the wrong way in the camera angles. As now Finn tries to go around the left, has a little lock up going into this left-hander. Beaumont just about leaves the Lamborghini enough space as we go around the corner right-hander, as both drivers have a little bit of a moment going in. Finn locking up, Beaumont getting sideways, and Beaumont ultimately loses out 9th position to the Lamborghini. Further ahead, Obi-Wan getting a little sideways coming out the final corner. Pippa's slowly catching up to Quack, probably the closest they have been, excuse me. So it's 2 people and 2 cats, apparently, as I've been informed. As Cat is slowly catching up and does the fastest lap of the race as well, as we've got a lunge up the inside. Let's go back and watch that again. Let's have a look as we got very, very late on the brakes. Just about gets it stopped. There's a very much a good block pass actually. Not rear-ending contact either, which is good to see from a block pass. Quack gets a better exit, but Quack is going to have a look going up the inside. Dex is very much, oh, careful Quack, you don't want to come back too sharply under braking. We should be done for moving under braking. Cap gets a really good exit, gets Quack as he's going to get Dexter as well. He is Quack. So Quack and Dex are losing out because they are fighting each other. So Cap gains 2 spots in one corner. Excellent job from Cap. Dexter trying to find a way through, so is Quack trying to force the error. Now, considering if Quack was paying attention as Quack goes up the inside, has a look on the sleeping Pippa, does it make it work? No, he over revs the car and backs out of it. No, does not. Tries to have a look, does have the run, not able to make anything work. So Cap's not going to try and disappear. But if Quack was paying attention to the leaderboard and watching these 2 switch positions, if this was me, I'd probably just sit there to this sort of gap and let these 2 fight. Because if you let these 2 fight like Cap did, just a lap ago over at turn 4 up here with these 2, you can potentially make 2 positions and time. But not this time, as Quack nearly hits the back of that Renault coming into turn 1, almost hits the grass as well. So very lucky on that aspect. So going further forward, Cap's now going to start opening and extending this gap with 2 laps to go. We got Nectar in 3rd, we got Zab in 2nd, we got Nathan all the way up in 1st in no man's land. Not really talked about the top 3. So there's not really been too much going on. A lot of the action's been further back here. We'll stay with Quack for a moment, because Quack's got a really good run on the Renault as you go up to turn 6. I'll come back to the comments in just a moment. Not able to make anything work. The mid-speed of that Renault is looking quite strong as the rear tyres are starting to go on the Ferrari. Got to be a little bit careful with that. Now the other Renault of Obi-Wan is starting to catch up to this group. So if the two Renaults are going to try and work together, they're going to try and potentially get Quack. As Obi-Wan takes a really tight line, he could have opened up the corner up just a little bit to gain a little bit extra speed there, maybe. Me and my very not infinite wisdom at work. Schumacher up into 10th, Blade into 11th, Zimmer into 12th with soft tyres with 2 to go. So Blade's now going to try and hold off as long as he can. Slav in 13th, Fracas on to soft tyres as well, so very recently pitted, potentially going for fastest lap. Might as well, nothing left to lose, everything to gain. Got loads of space and loads of free air as well going further forward. We'll stick with these two for a couple of corners as Blade is very much on very used mediums. Zimmer's got reasonably fresh softs apart from that front tyre. Are we going to see a Parks for 11th on the grid? It's potentially going to be one that Blade defends the inside. Zimmer's going to try and go around the outside. Is he going to get ahead at the corner? Just about ahead at the corner. Zimmer outbrakes Blade going into turn 1. Now going to try and chase down Schumacher for 10th position. Looking further back, Zimmer not really in a position to catch up at the moment. Okay, let's have a look through the rest of the grid. Is there a battle forming? Not really, as Quack's got just over a lap of fuel left, so Quack will be one to watch as he goes really wide going into this right-hander. By opening the corner up, I didn't mean quite like that, I meant a little bit more like this. Where you open it up just a little bit more. That's actually a perfect example, thank you, Bierman. Who's together back here? Wow, Zimmer's already caught up to the back of Schumacher. So, Zimmer potentially battling the BMW for a top 10 finish. As the leaders go on to the final lap of the race, anybody got anything left in the tank? Anybody got anything left with the tyres to potentially gain a move? Let's go back through the grid very briefly. Is there anybody close enough? Not really. We'll keep an eye on it though, but I want to keep an eye on these two. And up until turn 1 at least, well, until Nathan gets a bit closer to the finish. So Zimmer's slightly overfueled. He could have gone a little bit less than the fuel. Schumacher's got very much a dead front right. As Schumacher defends the inside, Zimmer could have opened up the corner again to offset himself and get a better line. Now the front right tyre of Schumacher is a lot better than Zimmer's, but Zimmer's on the soft tyre that will die very, very quickly. As Schumacher does not get the run he's looking for out of turn 3. So Zimmer takes 10th position as we're going to stay on board with Nathan. That was a lovely shot there of the Alfa Romeo as we come around the final corner. Nathan's had a very, very good and solid feature. He had a good solid feature, I believe it was the last time out as well. I believe it was, or there's definitely one time he had a good solid feature. But regardless, he comes around the final corner for the last time in Tier 5 this season to take victory here in Brazil at Interlagos. So Nathan crosses the line for first position. We then got Zap with a really good finishing position. We got Nectar in third, followed very, very closely by Cap in fourth. We then got Dexter in fifth. We got Quack in sixth, just holding off Obi-Wan in seventh. We then got Finn in a very respectable 8th position. We got Beaumont coming over the line for 9th. He could have had a top 3 had he not made a slight mistake and accident earlier on. We then got Zimmer in 10th. Blade, who's managed to get past Schumacher as well. So Schumacher really struggling on those tyres over this last lap. Zimmer making the 2-stop work for a top 10 finish with Blade in 11th, Schumacher in 12th. We then got Slavman coming over the line for 13th, not able to make a fastest lap attempt, and here comes Fracas bringing up the rear. The young man bringing it up the rear in that Mazda. Is he going to get the fastest lap? Let's have a look. I don't think he is. There's 130, there's 131. Nope, not going to get it. And over the line he goes for the final time this season. So there we have it. we're all caught up. 3 switch to softs, yeah, I know. It's okay, and I can very much say with confidence, where's tier 5? Fracas uploader, here it is. I can very much say with confidence and with a 41 point lead coming out of this final race with a very, very nice round total of 250 points is Cap. So congratulations, Cap. Well done on being champion of tier 5 this season. We've then got Nectar, who unfortunately has lost out by 41 points, who's in second place. We then got Nathan, the other Alfa Romeo, in third, only 28 points behind his teammates. We then got Zimmer in fourth after having an okay season, and then we got Zab in fifth, who has started off quite well and quite strong, and then just became very, very consistent in the midfield after having some tricky races, some interesting races as well. Looking over at the constructors, it is very much dominated by the Alfa Romeos with 390 points. Only 92 points back is the Lamborghinis in second place. So well done to the Alfa Romeos for taking the constructors title, and then we have the Supras rounding off in third position on the constructor standings, only by 2 points though. So the Mazdas just missed out on the top 3. So there we have it. Well done, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure watching carnage unfold week in, week out. I can tell you now, it's been a highlight of my week watching all of you, not specifically anybody, crashing at some point. It's been really, really fun. Thank you very much for making it so interesting, chaotic, and just everything in them, and just being awesome, really. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all either on track or next season.